FBI Special Agent Caleb Rivera had spent nearly 2 years infiltrating La Sangre Roja, a brutal cartel that controlled much of the drug trade along the West Coast. His cover as Marco Alvarado, a low-level smuggler with connections in the Southwest, had placed him in the inner circle of the cartel's leader, Miguel Castillo. Miguel was a ruthless strategist, feared by rivals and subordinates alike, but it was Rafael Castillo, Miguel's younger brother, who had captured Caleb's attention and eventually his heart. Unlike his older brother, Rafael was charismatic and playful, always quick with a smile or a joke. He was the heart of the Castillo family, a man who could command loyalty without the threat of violence. Caleb hadn't meant to fall for him, but in the course of their secretive nights together, he'd found himself unable to resist. Back at home, Caleb's wife, Sofia Rivera, was beginning to sense something was wrong. Sofia was a sharp, resilient woman who had supported Caleb through the demands of his job. But his absences had grown longer, his excuses more feeble. Their once solid marriage was now a fragile facade. Sofia confided in her best friend, Julia Hart, a criminal defense attorney known for her no-nonsense attitude. Julia warned Sofia not to jump to conclusions, but even she suspected Caleb was hiding something. Sofia wasn't the only one who noticed changes. Rafael's younger sister, Isabel Castillo, was fiercely protective of her family. She'd grown up in the shadows of Miguel's empire and had seen the destruction it wrought. While she didn't approve of Miguel's methods, she remained loyal out of familial obligation. Isabel had always been close to Rafael, and she began noticing his increasingly erratic behavior. Late-night disappearances and a newfound secretive nature. When she followed him one night, she saw him with Caleb. Though she couldn't hear their conversation, the intimacy between them was unmistakable. Suspicious, Isabel brought her concerns to Miguel's trusted enforcer, Alejandro Morales. Alejandro, a hardened cartel lieutenant, had always been wary of Caleb. Miguel dismissed Isabel's suspicions at first, unwilling to believe his brother could be compromised. But Alejandro, ever the loyal soldier, began keeping a closer eye on Caleb. The cartel's world grew more volatile when Victor Ramirez, the head of a rival organization, launched a series of brutal attacks on La Sangre Roja's operations. Miguel, under increasing pressure, demanded absolute loyalty from his inner circle. Caleb found himself torn between his duty as an FBI agent and his growing feelings for Rafael. His relationship with Rafa had become a sanctuary in the chaos, but it was also a liability that threatened to unravel everything. Caleb's double life began to collapse when Sofia discovered a burner phone hidden in his office at home. She scrolled through the messages and found cryptic exchanges with someone named R. The tone of the text was unmistakably intimate. Devastated, Sofia confronted Caleb during one of his brief visits home. He denied the accusations but refused to let her see the phone. Caleb was turned to Julia for advice. Julia suggested hiring a private investigator to uncover the truth. Meanwhile, Miguel, increasingly paranoid about potential infiltrators, decided to test Caleb's loyalty. He ordered Caleb and Rafael to oversee a high-stakes drug shipment at the Los Angeles docks. The mission was a trap. Miguel had planted false intelligence to lure the DEA into raiding the shipment, hoping to expose any traitors in his midst. The raid unfolded in a chaotic blur. Caleb, knowing the DEA's tactics, managed to protect Rafael and steer him to safety. But Miguel's suspicions only deepened. Alejandro, who had been observing from the shadows, reported Caleb's actions to Miguel. The cartel leader, now convinced Caleb was hiding something, began plotting his next move. Isabel, determined to protect Rafael, confronted him about Caleb. She begged him to cut ties, warning that their relationship would destroy the family. Rafael, torn between his love for Caleb and his loyalty to his family, refused. The argument escalated, and Isabel, frustrated and heartbroken, told Miguel everything. But Miguel summoned Caleb and Rafael to a secluded warehouse under the guise of a meeting. As they entered, the tension in the air was palpable. Miguel's men surrounded them, weapons drawn. Miguel confronted Caleb, demanding to know the truth. Caleb tried to deflect, but Miguel wasn't fooled. He ordered his men to take Caleb to the back room. At that moment, Rafael intervened. He confessed his relationship with Caleb, pleading with Miguel to spare his life. Miguel, furious and betrayed, turned his wrath on Rafael. Caleb, seeing no other option, revealed his true identity as an FBI agent. The room erupted into chaos as Miguel's men drew their weapons. Unbeknownst to Miguel, Caleb had prepared for this moment. A SWAT team, led by his partner, Agent Rebecca Holt, had been tracking his location. The warehouse doors burst open as the team stormed in, initiating a firefight. Miguel was killed in the crossfire, and several of his men were arrested. Caleb managed to shield Rafael, but the damage was done. In the aftermath, the fallout was devastating. Rafael was placed in protective custody, but his relationship with Caleb was irreparably damaged. He couldn't forgive Caleb for his lies or for the destruction of his family. Isabel, devastated by the loss of her brother, vowed revenge against Caleb. She disappeared into the shadows, taking what remained of the cartel with her. Sofia, armed with evidence of Caleb's infidelity and double life, filed for divorce. She moved back to her hometown with their 2 children, seeking a fresh start. Julia continued to support her, helping her navigate the legal battles that followed. Caleb faced an internal investigation by the FBI. Though his actions had led to the dismantling of La Sangre Roja, his superiors questioned his judgment and the ethical breaches involved in his relationship with Rafael. He was suspended without pay and eventually resigned. Rafael, disillusioned and heartbroken, disappeared from public view. Rumors swirled that he had started a new life abroad. He spent his days in solitude, haunted by the choices that had led to his downfall. Isabel, now the de facto leader of the La Sangre Roja, rebuilt the cartel with ruthless efficiency. She became a shadowy figure in the criminal underworld, her every move fueled by a desire to avenge her family. Caleb, now living under a new identity, knew it was only a matter of time before she found him. The story of Caleb Rivera became a cautionary tale within law enforcement circles, a grim reminder of the dangers of crossing personal and professional boundaries. The choices he made in the name of love had destroyed lives, leaving a trail of heartbreak and betrayal that could never be undone. Man, this case is just heartbreaking on so many levels. Love, betrayal, and the lengths people will go to protect their secrets. It's like a real-life Greek tragedy. Caleb's choices shattered everything, his career, his family, and even the life of the person he claimed to love. And in the end, no one really wins. Rafael is gone, Isabel is out for revenge, and Caleb is left with nothing but regret and the shadow of his past following him forever. It really makes you wonder, how far would you go to protect someone you love? And at what point does it stop being love and start becoming destruction? Let me know your thoughts on this one in the comments. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. The names, the details, and the sentences of this case are not real. These made-up scenarios allow us to explore suspenseful situations without exploiting real-life tragedies. Our goal is to create thought-provoking mysteries while respecting the privacy and dignity of real people. Thank you for watching, and let us know your thoughts below.